All right, boys, what is up? And welcome back to another trade recap. We ended up securing um around $19,000 in payouts, I think. I'm gonna show you the predicament I'm in. So I actually took a $1,600 payout yesterday with Top Step on one of my accounts. It's this one. You can see how four of them are being copy trading, one of them aren't. It's because one of them had a very large P&L compared to the others because I traded 5 accounts a few weeks ago. I blew four of them and I still had one. That one has already taken a $1,500 payout. I rebuilt the balance with these four being copy traded, made $3,000 or 3,300. I just took out 1.6 right now, and since I only have $1,500 as a buffer, and these have 4,500, I don't want to copy trade them because that doesn't make any sense. Why would I risk just as much as I'm risking on these four on this one? Doesn't make any sense to me. So I mean, they're actually all at the same balance now. They have a $2,000 balance, but you can see the max loss limit on this one is $4,500 under my balance, while this one is zero, right? So I'm de-risking on this last Top Step account. These are my alphas. I'm trying to go for a $3,000 balance and take out 1.5K per account. That would leave me at a $6,000 payout because it'd be 1.5 per account. Same thing here. After I get my winning days, this account is going to be at I need 3 more winning days or 2 more winning days on these guys. So I'm just going to go for like $200-300 days, and that would be a $6,000 payout across alpha and a $6,000 payout across funded futures family. That's $12,000, and also a $7,500 payout across Top Step. So if you do the math, 12 plus 7.5 is 19.5. After profit split, we're talking $18,000. So that's not bad at all, right? And this is something I can do pretty frequently as well with the accounts I'm currently running. So let's get into the high time frame buys of today. So I'm gonna start from scratch. The first thing I told the Discord this morning was I'm bullish. Why did I tell them that? Because in my opinion, the way the higher time frame moves is Monday and Tuesday, or Monday's manipulation, Monday and Tuesday manipulation, and then Wednesday and Thursday cause or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, either or, cause the actual move of the market, and then Friday tends to stay within the range. So on a week-to-week basis, I expect price to either open low on Monday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday, right? Or vice versa. Monday opens high, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Oh, the wrong tool. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday, right? This is a typical week-to-week candle, right? Let's just take a look at last week, for example. Monday gives us a red candle. Monday opens low, right? Then we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This is a bad example of a Friday, but you see what I mean by price manipulates on a Monday. Let's take a look here. Monday opens lower. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, bull run. Let's look at this. Monday open lower into this gap right here, right? And then we rip to the upside, right? So Monday would typically manipulate towards the opposite side the week wants to go to, right? And I've been bearish this whole time. However, today is a weird week because Monday doesn't have a candle. So I just noticed that the other day. Yesterday, I was like, damn, Monday and Tuesday merged into one candle because Monday was a half day. But if we look at the 4-hour, we can see there was actually a Monday. It's just not on the daily. So I expected price to manipulate higher here and then come fill this gap below us. What gap, you may ask? This new week opening gap we have right here. Okay? This is a new week opening gap. This is from Sunday's close from Friday's close to Monday's open, or Sunday's open. Right? So I thought price was just going to manipulate higher on the spot and then dump. We ended up edging it. We actually, funny enough, made like equal lows with it on ES. Look at that. ES literally just like tapped into it to the tick and then flush. I want to see this shit get filled completely. I want to see this shit get completely filled. So as I'm looking at this, I'm thinking obviously price wants to fill this, right? We just keep pushing higher and higher. So at this point, I'm like, all right, maybe we just don't want to fill it this week, I guess. Like, what the fuck is price doing? We do have this huge SMT. You can see right here with ES. I guess it's not an SMT anymore because ES swept the highs, but we could just see how much higher and uncorrelated the assets are. Right, let's take a look at where Nasdaq is trading as opposed to ES. So Nasdaq was trading literally 1.3% above these highs right here, whereas ES swept that shit by 0.00001%. Right, so at a given point in time, there was literally an SMT on Monday's high, which is incredible to even think about. So at this point in time, I'm bullish. Why am I bullish? Because we're just so bullish. We're not respecting anything bearish. We're just respecting everything bullish. So I'm like, all right, you know what? This is my, I forgot the word. I completely forgot the word. Wow, I'm an idiot. This is my, what's it called? Set. All right. I just had the biggest brain fart ever, right? But this was essentially like what dictated my bias, right? I had two scenarios in my head. A, market open, will come down, respect this bullish 15-minute gap and 15-minute order block, and push higher, right? B, we have this hourly gap here, and we have this hourly gap here, right? So price can actually come down, respect this, or come down and respect this, right? We have a lot of scenarios that could have played out today. And we also have, take a look at price, London lows resting below us. So my draw on liquidity is now London low, right? Same thing on ES. We also have a London low on ES. All right, let's take a look at ES. This low right there. We could see price is either going to respect the hourly gaps and that 15-minute gap or just dump. So I have my criteria for the day set. What am I looking for now? Conditions. I'm an idiot. That's the word. Conditions. All right. The conditions I had set were if this 15-minute gap holds and these 15-minute order blocks and these hourly gaps get respected, I will no longer look for shorts. I'll look for a retrace on shorts, or I'll look for some sort of long, right? Which I did not want to look for. However, did we respect a single one of these? No. On the 5-minute, we just kept flipping through them, dumping through them. No respect. Once I saw, all right, price is literally having zero respect towards these hourly gaps, I waited for the last hourly gap to get tapped into, broken into. Did we inverse it? After I took my trade, far after I took my trade, I wasn't going to wait for an hourly inverse to take a short to London lows. If we're going to short to London lows, we're going to be very aggressive, right? Something that also helped a lot with my bias was how price closed at 8 a.m. We opened high and closed bearish while closing below the previous hourly candle. This is a bearish doji. It's one of those pattern trades you learn when you're first starting off trading and you think it's going to make you a millionaire in a week. That's not going to do anything. This candle by itself is not going to do anything for you. However, it helps you dictate bias very much so if you know how to use it right. Right? Like I said today, all right, we closed below the previous hourly wick and we have so much sell side to take out, right? And this imbalance to fill. Fuck it. Let's give shorts a shot, right? So that's how it can help you. It can help you dictate bias. It can help you dictate where price wants to go. I was waiting. I was sitting at the charts from 9 a.m. open, waiting for one of these 5-minute gaps to get tapped into, like literally any one of them. I was begging. Nothing. We didn't retrace one single time. But what I did see is these bullish gaps were not being respected at all. What did we end up doing? We ended up tapping into this 30-second gap, pushing lower. We actually made a change in state in delivery right here, respected it, closed lower on the 30-second. That gave us a 1-minute displacement and breakup structure to the downside. That is when I entered in short. Right? So was this trade based off a high time frame? I literally took this trade like 5 micros, by the way, just because we didn't tap into any 5-minute gap. Since we didn't tap into any 5-minute gaps or anything significant, right? I figured, let me just take this low risk. I really like the draw on liquidity. I love the trade. I'm self-aware that it's not A+. I'm aware this trade can easily backfire on me, and if it does, I'm willing to re-enter. But the way price is looking right now, it doesn't look like it wants to retrace. Let me give this a shot with $500 risk, trying to make $600. That's exactly what I did. 500 to make 600. I put my stop up here actually. Yeah, because it was like a 50-point stop. I remember it was an absurd stop loss. With my TP at London lows. Something that I find somewhat comedic is how fucking close ES was to London lows at market open, and how far Nasdaq was from London lows at market open, and how we still took it out in the exact same candle, right? Take a look at this. 5 points on NQ. 5 points on ES is 0.070%, right? 0.070%. Nasdaq was all the way up here. This is a 0.4% move on Nasdaq. That is 5x the move. Nasdaq moved 5 times more to the downside than ES did from market open. Because I was looking for shorts the entire time, and I was like, you know what? I'll just take profit whenever ES takes. My plan with this short was to take profit whenever ES took London lows. If there was an SMT, if there happened to be an SMT here, I would have closed here for a 0.6 risk to reward. I don't give a shit. I'm closing at this SMT. I'm closing when an SMT is met. I might draw on liquidity. Look what happens after we swept London. We just chop, right? And if my draw on liquidity is London, I don't want there to be an SMT, and it got caught and chopped early or got even stopped out, right? So I got lucky that price just did not fucking move on ES for like 10 minutes. I thought it was comedic, but yeah. With that being said, hopefully I can secure a payout on Thursday and Friday. That would be great. That would be a great start to June. Wow, we're almost in June. Shit, man. Time flies. All right. With that being said, I hope you guys all have a great day. Hope you guys all learned something new. I fixed the link to the free Discord. I was told it wasn't working. So if you guys want to join the free Discord, the link is not working. I hope you guys all have a blessed day, and I will see you boys tomorrow. Peace out.